All right, what's going on, man?
Not much, brother. Living life to the fullest.
Living life to the fullest. That's what's up. That's what's
Yes,
up.
sir.
Okay.
You doing all right?
Huh?
How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. I'm cool. I'm cool. Just trying to enjoy this nice weather. Uh, well, I want to introduce you. This is Reynaldo Fanning. You know, master trader.
And forever a student.
Yeah, always a student. Uh,
Always a
always a
student.
student. And then my name is Umelo. Also an investor, trader. You know, always a student. I like that. That's what's up.
Yeah, always, brother.
Yeah. Just share a little about your, story about like how you got started.
So I got started with the trading about 3 years, 3 years ago. Um, the only reason I found out about it was simply by God per se. Um, I was working and I was getting a bonus and I was short 2 grand on a bonus and I was kind of fed up because I worked very hard and don't get me wrong, it was the most money I ever made as far as like salary wise and whatnot. But I was trying to get the biggest bonus I ever made, which was still the case, but it didn't go out to the number that was projected to be. And so um, I was just like, well, I gotta do something. I gotta do something else about this. Something got to come up, and literally the next day, I saw somebody who was trading. I didn't know what it was, and I inboxed him. Hey, what is this? And he showed me what it was, and I said, I'm in. I want to know more about it, and
So wait,
here we
what
are
what
now.
what was he trading? What was the asset class that he was trading? Was it like stocks? Was it options? What was it?
No, it was actually currency pairs.
Oh, currencies. Okay.
Yeah, it was currency pairs. He was trading, I believe, he was trading the Euro USD, and he made like $200 or something like that.
Oh, that's not
And I
bad
was
though.
like, whoa, what is that? Like $200.
Hmm.
Without, I'm thinking like, how'd you do that? What is that? And so he explained it to me. I said, do it 3 more times. And then I'm asked for more information. He did it 3 more times for me. And I said, hey, I want to know what this is, and here we are.
Okay. That's what's up. That's cool. So when you learned what it was, what he was doing, like with the trading, like how'd you get started? Like, what'd you do?
So, so I went through IML. He was a part of that and whatnot, and so I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't nothing about recruiting. Recruiting or forex is two different things. It was a IML thing, and so I knew what forex was without knowing what forex was because I watched
Okay,
the movie
so
Limit.
let me stop right there. So, like, when you say recruiting, so like the network marketing and
Yes,
forex are two different things. Okay, because
yes,
like I know there's a stigma like when it comes to like forex, it's like people think okay when they're recruiting you that's forex, but what you're saying that is two different things. So
yes,
like
yes, definitely. That's just
okay,
for that company
okay,
uh, to make extra money for residuals income. And I mean, hey, some people are people persons, and they can make that type of stuff.
so
Some
did
people are like that.
okay, so like did you go to IML for the network marketing like or was it to learn?
I went for straight up trading. I told people that if I will not recruit nobody unless I can withdraw my salary in a year. I would not recruit anybody. So that was my whole thing because I feel like if you can withdraw what you make in a year, then you pretty much you're a master trader pretty much. And
Okay,
so I wasn't into that.
so let me ask you, did you are you still in IML?
No,
Okay,
no, I'm
you're
not.
not still in IML, but you're still trading.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right. So I see what you. So it's like I get what you're saying because like a lot of people think it's like the same thing, like
Mm-hmm.
forex or currencies and like these groups. And now you're just saying like you joined one of those groups, but you joined to get some knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. So like what made you leave the group?
What happened was in the group, a lot of people. It was like a lot of people stopped kind of communicating pretty much. Like of course, everybody have a regular life and people got things to do. I had a lot of good traders that was in our group, and they're not doing their own thing. But um, it was just it was just a lot of people were talking about either they were recruiting or people just stopped talking. We just stopped communicating, and then it was like, well, let's we are going to go our separate ways pretty much. And so because you have your I think under that you have your chairmans and stuff, and they want you to bring in more people, even though you're trading, and other people, they weren't people persons or so, and that's how it kind of fell through. That's why I left. I left because I was like, I want to learn on my own, and I was getting dependent on the systems. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you had people who were not trading this and signals out, and you had the harmonic scanner, which was that's still a great idea. Harmonic scanner. If you know what you're looking for, it's great. But I was dependent on the system too much, and when they were wrong, I would lose money. If they were right, I would make money. But I didn't want to live on those terms. I want to live on my terms as far as like, if I lose, it's because of my calculation. I don't want to be on somebody else's calculation because if they just stop, doing harmonic scanner and stuff, then I'm gonna stop trading. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was just like, I
I
rather
see.
learn on my for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much you got to the point where you're like, I don't want to depend on I say like trading signals and like
Yeah.
different systems and like you're like I want to get to a next level in learning. So you want to invest in your own financial education.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so like did you feel like it helped you? Like you learned some stuff when you went into IML? I'm just curious.
Yes, because I came in with zero knowledge, and then I came in, and then I left with a lot of knowledge in there. It made me curious about more about forex. So I definitely learned. They have the educational, and a lot of people say, it's like, the educational is not anything, but it is. I'm like, if you know how to use the knowledge that was given to you, you have endless possibilities. So uh, it worked out for me, but it just made me for more because I was like, I don't feel like this is enough for me. I just want to, but it did get my foot in the door to know more. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So like I mean, it was a starting. It was like a small beginning.
Yeah.
It was a small
Yeah. But
beginning.
I gotta learn how to crawl before you walk.
Cause like I know like IML like I mean like it gets like a big stigma like okay like people like it's a scam, it's a fraud, you don't learn anything and stuff like that. But you're saying you did learn some things, but you felt like you could learn more independently.
Yes, yes. I feel like the knowledge that I gained from it, I feel like I reached it, or it's some things that make sense to me because you have people that try to explain it to you, but everybody has a different way of learning. So I was like, I guess, the way this person is teaching me is not communicating with my brain properly. So I was like, let me go look up some more information about it and see who else are traders and what do they learn and give, form opinions and strategies and come up with my own thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So like after you left IML, like what did you do?
After I left IML, I started trading on my own, and it was rough. It was rough. I like, man, I need to pay that 150 again a month, or 250, whatever it is. But because things like when you go on demo, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the trades seem to go your way. As soon as you go live, everything hit that stop loss. It's just crazy, or you over leverage, and your mindset wasn't right, or you were greedy and stuff like that. So it was a lot of mastering emotionally and all that. I actually took I think I took like a 2 month or 3 month break before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, like losing money is not what I'm built for. I'm not built to lose money. And so,
So,
and so I was just like, I feel like I'm working for forex. I'm working my job, putting this money into it, and losing it faster than I made it. So I was like, oh no, I need actual preparation and work and all that. So I just started.
hold on, let me stop
What?
you real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead.
you were talking about like the winning in demo and then like losing alive. Now it's the same thing. So what made the difference? What made you
Uh,
lose in live?
emotions,
Emotions.
emotions.
Okay.
Because it's just subconscious that that's not for money. and
Okay.
like you like I can lose, I can make another demo. Losing your real money, you saying like, man, I gotta go clock in or work some overtime for the rest of the week to make this extra little money back. So um, I just had to convert that same mentality that I had in demo to live.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I had to do.
Okay, that makes sense. So so you said you took a break for like 2 3 months, like from like
Mhm.
live, right?
Yeah.
But you went back to demo, or did you stop altogether?
So I think about a month I stopped altogether,
Okay.
and then like within the second month I was just trading demo, and the third month I was still trading demo because a lot of people they watched me when I was doing it at work, so they would see me at the table and I was just kept doing it, and I was like, man, I know I could do it if there's something in me like, yeah, you could do this. And I always knew the calculations of it saying it's a 90% fail rate. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, only 10% can make it. So the effort you got to put in to be successful. So you're like, okay, I can't just lollygag and all that. I need to really put in some work and stuff like that. So that's what I did. I just like, okay, let me see if I can memorize some things. Memorize certain moves here and there. Pay for some stuff. Pay for information. All that good stuff. And I just started putting the pieces together and started, try to form my own little strategy, try to build my ultimate weapon of how I visualize forex.
So you purchased some education. So like, could you share some like resources that you purchased?
I had got it was I bought uh, um his class. I bought his class where he had his own strategy and everything.
You
I
said whose
had bought
class?
um Banks.
Oh, Q
I
Banks.
had bought yeah, I bought
Okay.
his stuff. Yeah, I bought one of his stuff. I bought who was he got a friend named My Life Real Quick. I bought his stuff to see his perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went through a couple of Telegram groups to see what they were saying, what books they had for forex. It was a Telegram group that just had a bunch of forex books. So here, 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 and then that's when I found a book called Naked Forex, um, and I started reading that book, and I had implemented a lot of strategies with that, and I was just putting the pieces together. It took a while, but yeah, I just started putting pieces together.
Okay. All right. Um, so like, what you would say is you went through some of the education, and it took time because even though
Mm,
you went through the education, you still had to uh, get the personal revelation, right?
yes,
And so it like you had to really be in the market.
yes,
So like so it could be like part of second nature for you with certain things that you see in the market.
yes, yes.
Okay. All right, that's actually makes sense because like what people like think though is like they buy this education or they go under this guy or girl, and in a month, bam, they're gonna make a
Mhm,
whole lot of money. What do you think
mhm.
about that?
Well, some people, if it clicks with them, it clicks with them. I can't explain how they learn things, but to me, I was thinking in my head that yeah, I did. Like I made money in IML. I'm not gonna say I never made money in there. I mean, I made money in IML. I made money in the Q's programs. Um, but it was just that it didn't feel. It was just still a little delay as far as like knowing what I'm doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had to warm up to it, instead of it coming as second nature. Like I learned a lot through Elliott wave. Like Elliott
Okay.
wave explained a lot to me through the day trading and stuff like that,
Okay.
saying that the market was, this is not a complicated market when you look at the day trades. You're like, all you have to do is find one candle, and it's over 1,000 pips every time. Just for one. That's all you need to look for. And depending on what your lot size is, you can make a lot, but you're gonna make a lot if you can just predict one candle versus in 15 minutes where you're trying to predict, 10 or 15 candles. And so I saw the Elliott wave. I said, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool." I learned that, and then I was like, "I wonder can it work on 15, 30 minutes and all that." I haven't successfully, mastered that in those time frames, but daily and weekly and monthly, I have learned that. And so and now I have great patience too. Emotions had to get out the way too. So you like, even if you can't find a trade that day, don't force it.
Okay.
Find
So
another.
okay. So like one thing. It's like you started getting comfortable with your own personal system from learning
Yes.
from other masters or teachers.
Yes.
Okay. And when you started getting that, like now, even though you could do that in demo, now it's like, okay, how do I apply that in live? Because it's not like it's like a lot of people start thinking it's different, but it's not like it's different. It's
It's
just
not.
it's just psychologically, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
emotionally,
Yep.
like you're thinking, oh, let me get this. Like you said, you might over leverage, or you might your stop loss might be too tight, and like how do you
Yep.
separate your emotion and just like understand like, hey, like I need to apply the same principle on the demo inside the live.
Yeah. It's like for me, I have pride in myself as far as that. If I come up with this calculation for something, and I that this is, and I try my best, or I gave it my best, and saying that this is the right calculation, and if I go down and it's wrong, I'm willing to be wrong on it. On my
Mm-hmm.
trades, I'm willing to be wrong on all my trades, just as I'm willing to be right. And so, like, even when I'm wrong, it's like I adjust. I say, okay, why was I wrong in this? What happened that I didn't see? Because I feel like my calculation was right, or I knew my calculation was right. What happened? Did the bank manipulate? Or did I miss some kind of news that happened? Did something happen in that country economically or something? And so I researched and was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Then I go do it over again. I'm okay with losing that. And also, even with over leveraging, like some people they get good enough where they can over leverage because their calculation and confidence in themselves is so high in the work, and so there is no risk management for any of them. Well, it is, but it's not like how it is for regular people like me and you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just building that. Like I was thinking about trade today. I made 3,000 a day, and I was like, man, I was upset with myself that I didn't make 10. and
Okay, hold on.
and
Let's get this straight. So like, there was a point where you started making 3,000 a day, right?
yeah,
Okay, and then you were upset that you weren't making 10,000. I like that
yeah,
though. There's nothing wrong with
yeah.
that. That's cool. Okay,
I
now
was upset. Yeah,
now like
yeah.
now 3,000 a day. Like, are you like was that like consistently doing that, or was it just like a period of
No,
time?
no. So it was like, so once I found out, like, so I do this. So indices is like the new wave of making money. If you want to on forex, indices is where everybody want to go. And
Okay, so like,
so,
let me explain to them indices. Okay, so like, I guess the broker you have, um, they have certain indices besides like currency pairs, and indices
yeah,
are they're actually like equity indexes.
yeah,
Like
hmm
they're like the Dow Jones and the S&P
hmm
500.
yeah,
So like the
yeah,
US 30 is actually equivalent to the Dow Jones, and then the
yeah,
S&P X or S&P 500 is equivalent to the Standard and Poor 500, which
yeah.
is inside
That's that.
the
Yep.
American
Now,
stock exchange market.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
So
yeah, continue.
yeah, so everybody knows that's like the wave of going because it's 100 times the amount for each point. So it's like if you get 1 point or 1 pip per se on US 30, it's really equivalent to 100 pips, and
Hmm.
so that's what a lot of people go to now. Now the thing is with those, it's based off emotions this time, so you got to literally flip the switch. Like if you're really scared, if any type of news come out something, they really move the money. Like, oh well, I need to move this, and the market would flip all the way together. So when it came, I wasn't making 3 grand consistently, but for me, like, um, I was looking at these trades as far as like US 30. I say, okay, US 30 is going to be New York session, and more than likely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can make 3 grand on each one of those days. I can do 3 grand, and
Okay.
so like it's not like Monday and Friday. I'm like, if I get on Friday or like Sunday, if it's a gap on US 30, oh yes, I'm going to try to make 10 grand that night. I was like, because it fills the gap every time.
Okay, let me
And
explain that for some people. Okay, so
yeah,
like with the gap, he's talking about like liquidity gaps in the market, and that's
yes sir.
something like a lot, quite a few traders understand how to play that, and there are some traders who don't play off the gap. It's a different strategy though, but we'll talk about that more though. But continue.
Yeah, so like if open up with a gap, I automatically try to fill in, or try to make put a week then in there, just for that. And sometimes that happens. But I know that with the leverage I have and the amount, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for US 30, I can do at least 3. My goal is to make 10 grand a day, pretty much. But sometimes it's not open like that. The window's not open.
Okay,
You
so
know,
your
you
goal
have
is to make 10,000 a day.
yes.
Okay, when did that become your goal?
When I made 17,000 in one day before.
Okay,
I
when you
made
made
17.
$17,000 in one day.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now let me ask you something. Are you full time with this?
No, no. What full time of trading or just
Yeah,
if I don't got an occupation or what?
like you don't have a like you're just this is what you just focus. You don't have another job.
Oh yeah, yes. I still have my job too.
Okay,
Still
so
have my
you
job.
still have your 9 to 5.
Yes.
Cause like that's another stigma that people think like you if you're in order to be a trader or investor you have to have you can't have a 9 to 5.
Oh no, that's a myth. You can do 9 to 5 and still make money on top of that because there's a lot goes into it. As far as like if you don't like for me, I had to learn. I didn't know the taxes aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Taxes is something I had to learn. I had to learn about that, and then you have taxes with your regular job. Then you have to see how much healthcare costs and all insurances for houses, all that good stuff. And so it's like, okay, so it's cool to have your job to they fill in that gap. But with the trading stuff, you gotta know all that stuff before you go into it because they look at it as you winning the lottery and you know the taxes on lottery, and so you gotta put that in business or business credit line and all that. Get an LLC for it so you can get access to that to all your money
Okay,
without
so
getting penalized.
I see what you're saying. So there's like some tax implications that
Yeah,
and complications. Okay,
yeah,
that people don't really realize when it comes to like the gains that you make off trading.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's what the whole thing like. Look at it like that, saying, "Oh, you can just get this money out and all that." I'm like, "Yeah, you can, but you're gonna have to pay a hefty fine in the end if you don't have the money." Like, if I make 100, let's just say this, like, if I made $10,000, I really can only spend 7,000
Mm-hmm.
before taxes. So you're like, all right, well, I need to, at least I need to have 3,000 in this account to pay for taxes toward the end of the year. So fill out a form.
So there's
And
some.
a lot of people they put in cryptos and stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, there was two things. You know what? I never asked you like, would you consider yourself a technical trader, fundamental trader?
I consider myself both technical and fundamental. Like for me, I look at the candles. The candles tell the stories to everything.
Okay.
Um, yeah, the candles, indicators. As far as like I just use trend lines, see what I think is support and resistance.
Okay.
All that. I keep it simple. I keep it simple. I don't try to keep it complicated. Like as soon as I see a hammer, I'm ready to go. Head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders.
Okay.
All that. I know the fake out, pennant, triangles, all that.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say something because there's actually like, you see it a lot. Like some teachers or some people are saying like those type of patterns, like the triangle, head and shoulder, and all that stuff are like they don't work. What would you say to those people who say that?
I say, but maybe not. Maybe you're not seeing what we see. It works. It don't look so. You know how a head and shoulders. Some people think it's supposed to look a certain way all the time. You know, sometimes the shoulder look like it's doing a shrug. You know, it
Okay.
don't look like a regular shoulder, but it is a shoulder. You know, or the one shoulder is closer to the head than the other shoulder, and so some people don't think it is what it is. But you gotta actually keep putting in the work, and you can see like all the different patterns of shoulders, and you'll see that okay, head and shoulders do work. That to me, that is the fundamentals right there to me, because the candle it does it every single time. It literally does it every single time,
Okay, all right.
and
So
it,
you're
it
able to see certain patterns in the market, and then you were talking
yeah.
about technical indicators. Would you like? Could you name? Do you like say like moving average, RSI? Is there anything like that you use?
Yeah. I still use the RSI. I still got RSI on it. Do
Okay.
I use it as much now as I did? No, I don't. I've been, but I still have it on, just in case I look at something to see if it's going to bounce back or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll wait if another candle develops and see if my RSI is on point. I have Fibonacci still. I still got Fibonacci.
Let me
Um,
ask you something. I'm just curious. Like when you're trading like the Dow Jones, the US 30, or the S&P, those indexes. Do you use Fibonacci?
um, I did it once. I did it once to
Okay.
see what was up. And it did work. It did work. But I was so used to using fundamentals with the US 30 and news. So I was like, is it more it's more news and emotions
So like when
versus
you talk
fundamentals.
about news, like you're talking about like when you talk, I know because we talked about this, like with the margin call, you're talking about like earning reports of the
Yeah,
different companies, right?
yes.
Okay, so let
Yes.
me explain that for some people. So like the Dow Jones is made up of the top 30 U.S. Companies or corporations in America. So like what you would look at would be like those a few of those 30 companies that are inside the Dow Jones and see how they're earning. So if their earnings was down that quarter, you would be shorting, correct?
Yes.
And if the
Yes.
earnings was up, you would be going long, buying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yep. Yes, sir. That's exactly how it plays out, just like that. It just moves by emotions more than fundamentals on the indices compared to forex. Forex, the exchanges, the currencies, they're even though you have news on it and it'll fluctuate, it'll still straighten the stuff back out though to do what it's supposed to do when it
Okay.
comes to the fund.
So let me ask you something because a lot of people think forex is like so hard and you can't make money off of it, and they just say, okay, just look at say stocks or whatever. What
Yeah.
would you say from your personal experience?
So forex, it's you get what you put in. Um, sometimes you will get lucky. It's literally a 50-50 chance of you being right or wrong. That's how I kept it in my mind. And there's so much money going around, even if you don't know what you're doing, you still might make $1,000. But you do have to put in the work. As far as like people saying there's a 90% fail rate, I understand what they mean because how many times can you take a hit of somebody, of the market saying, no, you're not gonna make profit, no, you're not gonna make profit and whatnot. And you can once you understand you right your wrongs and you keep with it, stick with it, it's like anything. It's a craft. You gotta keep banging it out to make sure you're a diamond through this. There's a lot of pressure. your emotion. You gotta make sure your emotions good. You gotta make sure your mind's clear, and you focus on it. You just gotta be laser focused. And when you have that as automatic, it's not gonna take as much time as it did when you first started because it's starting to become second nature to you. Now I got
Okay.
no problem. I got no problem with people doing stocks. Stocks is good too. If you want in the long run. But the forex, the liquidity of it. Now you can make that money like right now. I'll take money. I'll use forex. Whatever I get paid, I'll take some certain amount out, put it through crypto, and probably buy some crypto stuff, or I'll go take some money out and I would buy some stock. I'll go on Robinhood, buy me a few thousand shares, or 400 or 500 shares or something, and then I let it sit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. You pretty much building your own economic hub right here.
Yeah, you're
Is
letting
it
your
the
money work for you. That's awesome.
There you go, because your money never gets tired. It don't
Mm-hmm.
get sick. It don't get injured. It doesn't make mistakes. You got to do.
So let's go back because I remember you saying you had a goal of like 10,000 a day, right?
Yeah.
Now, like, how many times did you hit that when during your goal?
How many times I hit it? I hit it. I did 10,000 within 3 years. I did at least 7 times.
Okay, at
Seven
least
times.
7 times. Okay, and then like how many times? Okay, what's the most that you've lost?
Most that I've lost was 7 grand.
Okay, 7 grand. Okay, so like share the story. What happened? Like what happened when you lost? Like how did you lose?
So, greed. So, um, I had a $200 account,
Okay, you had a
and I
$200 account. Okay.
had a $200 account, and it's funny, I was at work, and it was on Peso. Peso, I made 6,700 that night off a $200 account on Peso.
Oh
I put
wow, six
in
thousand
the
seven
entry.
hundred. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I had put in at least I had like seven take profits, 7 or 8 take profits,
Mm-hmm.
and I put in at least 15 entries. I put in 15 entries, and I take profit on all of them. And I was like, well, the weekend coming up, crypto's open on the weekends,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going for Ripple, and I put like some stupid lot size on it, and it just went the opposite way. It went 900 pips the opposite way.
Wow.
And my pride wouldn't let me get out. I was like, yo, it's going to turn eventually. It's going to turn. And there we go. Lost all of what I made the day before. It was crazy. Crazy. Lost more than what I had. I was back down to like $50.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No, but that's crazy though. You turned 200 into 7,000 pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. It was just like one of those days that I saw a rip and everything just made sense, like on Peso. I was like, this thing's about to drop all the way to Hades, man. So let me go ahead and just let me ride it out. And I just put one turn to $50. And I was like, oh, well, let me up the lot size. Kept upping it, upping it, upping it. Eventually, it went up to 3.0 lot sizes. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm about to just make a bank right here. And I was just sitting at the corner at work, just sitting there, just chilling on break. And I made almost $7,000 right there.
Imagine you made $7,000 on your lunch break at work.
Yeah, 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 at work. Lunch break.
At work. That's
At
crazy.
work.
Yeah,
At
at
work.
work. That's funny. No,
Yeah.
that's funny. It's just funny. Like people don't realize okay how the type of money that you can make potentially if you actually get good at your craft. You
Yeah.
know, and it's
Yeah.
like it's in anything. Like I mean, it's just like literally. It's not like something. I mean, maybe some people get it fast, but it's just like, hey, listen. Like if you're trying to be an engineer, you still gotta like get an education to be an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so you got to get the education to be a fundamentally sound investor, a trader,
Yeah.
understanding
Yeah.
the market. You know, where you're capitalizing off those volatility and those changes.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so and a lot of people don't know. Like, okay, let's just say you become a successful trader. It's a lot of things that you gotta keep, gotta keep up as far as like you gotta keep up with your body and health. You still gotta be good at time management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say you made your money, and let's just say you strictly know how to trade. You're a master trader.
Mm-hmm.
You made whatever you made in an hour or two. You still got 22 hours left. You don't have a job, so you gotta learn how to do your time management. You gotta know when to work out. You gotta know when to, what's your hobbies, what's your habits. You make good habits and stuff. It's still a lot that you still got to do. Through this pandemic, it made me realize that, like, oh, I made this money. I still got to still do this. And then you get to a level where everybody's still working while you're not. So you got to find, new friends too. Because they're not going to be able to the whole day while you're free. And so it's a lot that goes into it that you gotta check. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say rush out and get free from society, but I'm saying there's a lot of other mental stuff that a lot of people are not looking into. Yeah, you can go to the gym as long as you want, but after you leave the gym, then what? I mean, you might be married. I don't know. Traveling, is down right now. So,
Yeah.
but
So you know
you
what?
know what I'm saying?
That's good.
It's
I'm
a lot.
glad you brought that up because a lot of people are like fearful of the market right now during like this COVID time. Let's
Yes.
how's your experience with the markets, whether it be the currency market or the equity index market? Are you like how do you feel about it? Like, are you getting opportunities in the market? Is there a lot of
Yes.
liquidity?
Yes, US 30 has never been easier to trade during this whole pandemic. When it first started in February, and then it really ramped up in March.
Mm-hmm.
So it has never been easy. Everything was a sell. Everything was a sell on indices everywhere.
Okay.
Not as far as forex pairs. Not everything was a sell, but then you saw oil went down and like they said it was less than $0
Yeah,
and
oil went down and the
cheeseburger.
dollar skyrocketed.
Yeah, crazy, crazy,
Yeah,
man. Like
dollar skyrocketed. Oil went down. If you were in the,
what?
huh?
No, I was saying like, man, I was just saying like for sure, it
Yeah,
was
so
crazy.
and so like people you can capitalize off that whether it's like you said whether it's the equity like with the Dow Jones or the S&P or just like with futures with like the oil market, with
Mm-hmm.
WTI or
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You could like there was like opportunities like
yeah,
the rich was getting richer.
yeah, yes, yes. If you knew, like everything was a sale, like everything. I'm telling you, everything was a sale. It's like, okay, well, everything is bearish, so let's just sell. And I was like, I was sad that everything was closing up, but again, I was making money, but at the same time, I was like, well, I can't buy nothing right now. Nothing coming to my house till like 4 months later. Anyway, and I was able to get a new house during the whole pandemic too. And so it's like I was just glad I had another skill and everything like that. Like even with unemployment and stuff, they had to redo my job, and everything was backed up because everybody was laid off. So
Hmm.
I did not get paid. I got laid off in March, like second week of March, I believe.
Okay.
I did not get paid for unemployment till 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
But I was okay because I had forex. I was like, okay, well, it don't matter to me. I'll just wait for it to happen. And so I was trading. I had a limited time now, so I was like, okay, well, let me go trade now. And so it's been the most I made in the few months that like. I think I made over 40,000 plus since we've been on.
Okay, so
And so
since what like March, like middle of
yeah,
March, we've been off, I believe.
yeah,
So
yeah,
since the middle of March, you've made up to 40 grand in the market.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, cool. Now let me ask you: do you usually like use like a small size account? Like what type of size account do you use?
So this is what I do. Usually I have about $500. I start with 500,
Okay.
and then I bring myself up. Like usually by the end of the week, I try to get 3 grand. If I start with 500, I try to get 3 grand by the end of the week.
Okay.
So depend because I thought that, even though I had a lot of time, I still had to move a lot of stuff now because I got a new house.
Mm-hmm.
And so the moving companies wasn't doing nothing. I had to actually physically move everything. So it was just me and my wife, and that's what we had to do. So the time I had, I would go to New York session and all that. Any little free time, I'd go right back on it. So it was still work. But yeah, I started off with like 500, try to turn to 3,000, withdraw 1,000. Then the next week, turn that to 8 to 9, or if I can get 10, do that, withdraw 5, do it again. So you have 3 grand, turn it to 10, and then just withdraw another 3 or 4 grand. So
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Like, I mean, me personally, I find it like to use like that small of account. Like, that's like wow. Like,
yeah,
sheesh.
yeah, 500 usually. So I find a sweet spot with US 30 as far as like you do like anytime I put like a point two on US 30, I know I'm getting at least $200 out.
Okay.
No, 250.
Okay.
250. I know I'm at least getting 250 out of
Mm-hmm.
it if I just do a point two. So I look at it like that. I don't put in more than one entry on US 30. I just put one entry in. There it goes. You give me 250, like so I'll get at least 250 from that. On regular forex pairs, I throw a standard lot size or I throw a point 50 on it. Point 50 or standard lot size. If I put a point 50 on something, I'm looking for at least 1,000 pips for a trade. If I
Mm-hmm.
put in a standard lot size, I'm going for about maybe 100 pips or 50.
Is that off a $500 account?
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Okay.
yes. That's fine. Yeah, at least because you can at least be qualified to do like if you have 130, depending on what your leverage is. If you have 130 or 140, you can put a point one in on US 30. Of course, that's over leveraging it,
Yeah, but I mean,
but
but you've been in you have more experience, so it's a little different
yeah,
for you.
yeah, yes, yeah. So that's why I look at it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna make 250 today. Oh, I'm 250 by the time it's 9 a.m. or something like that. And then after I make 250, or if I made more than 250, I'll go ahead. When I get to 1,000, when I get to 3,000, I usually put in a point 10 or a point, yeah, point 10 or point 15
Mm-hmm.
on US 30, and that's automatically at least 2 grand or 3 grand for the same amount of pips, or not pips but points. So
Okay, that's impressive. Like, that's
yeah,
not easy.
yeah,
That's like stories you hear about. Like turning, like you literally turning like 500 into like 10,000. Making 40 grand in a few
yeah.
months. You know, but like so like, what broker do you use?
So it's funny, man. I just saw news today on this broker, but I use KOT Forex, and I saw
Okay,
people was supposed
KOT
to,
Forex.
yeah, KOT
Okay,
Forex, yeah.
so it's
And
like
I
it's
just
one of
saw
those
people,
unregulated brokers, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And so I just saw news today that they were saying that somebody didn't get paid or something like that,
Yeah, I've
and
been
so
hearing a
I'm
lot of
looking,
stories about them. Like, I use
yeah,
Owanda. I use one of those American regulated brokers.
yeah. And so that's what I literally just heard before we got on, and somebody inboxed me and was telling me, hey, you gonna look into it or whatever. I said, yeah, I'm gonna look into it. I said, if it is true, I said I probably stop messing with them after NFP next week. So, um, but after that, if it's true, I'm definitely gonna pick another broker. I'm gonna do my research thoroughly. But yeah, that's why I use KLT for it.
Okay. Okay. And then, like, how long have you always used them?
No, I was with Hugo's too. First, I started. Let me tell you. So first, I was with Traders Way. Traders Way is closed. Then I went to FX Choice. FX Choice at the time did not have crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to trade crypto. And so I was like, well, y'all don't have crypto, then I don't want to be with y'all. So I went to Hugo's Way. I've been with Hugo's Way for a long time. And then KOT Forex came out. Then I was like, oh, well, they got competitions on there where they had traders like who can make the most money in a certain amount of time, in a certain month. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind competing against certain people. So I was like, I'll go ahead and go do that. And I stuck with KOT forex ever since then. I mean, until now. So I heard what happened to gold.
Okay.
So.
All right, that's pretty awesome. So like, let me ask you. I know there's something that I was always taught. Like a lot of well, I was reading a book, Ray Dalio's Principles. I don't know if you heard that book or not.
No, what is it called again?
Ray Dalio's Principles. So like Ray Dalio, he's like this big hedge fund manager or
Okay.
whatever. For yeah, one of the biggest hedge fund managers. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He's actually a mentor of Sean Puffy Combs.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't know.
yeah. But like I was looking at some of the things, even though like he had his degree in like finance, but like I would say he's kind of like in a sense like self-taught like you, because like he would learn, like he would actually like he didn't call it back testing, but he was back testing, and he started talking about how he was back testing. Like he would look at like historical data and look at what happened in the market, like how the fundamentals drove that market, and then he would just also look at like technical like strategies, and he would create like different algorithms, and yeah, to create his own strategy
Yeah.
for his market as a portfolio manager.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
he
that's not just about what I did. Like I literally just took pieces of what I learned from everything and what I seen online. I mean, I even got notebooks. I got notebooks of what was hard for me to remember, but I knew it was critical. I just wrote it in my notes, got printed out some certain pictures and all that to show like, okay, this is what happens when this shows up. As long as I can recognize it, I can go back to my notes and be like, oh, yeah, this is what you do in this situation and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did was just take little pieces here and there, and just try to form my own thing that makes sense to me. So
so
I
you
found out who can explain, let's just say RSI, or who explain candlestick. Then who the best who can explain head and shoulders that can that translate with me. So
hmm
yeah.
so like let me ask you like how do you feel about back testing?
Back testing is that's how you practice your strategies. So it's just like target practice. Like, okay, well, how can I be a better shooter? And so you go back and you got to turn a blind eye and see what the market is. So you don't know what happened. Try to make sure you don't know what happened before, and you just implement your strategies, and then you look back at Forex Factory or whatever news to see if anything messed with the calculations that you had, or was your strategy wrong? Is this strategy really good, or is your strategy really bad? You know, it just makes you, depending on what you're looking for, it makes you better at that one thing that you're doing.
Okay, I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Like it's like so pretty much it's like studying the markets became your video game.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that. So let me ask you like say in a year, like how many losing months do you think you have?
In a year, let me think. When I first started, like this, I was so I would have okay months. I would have okay months, and then I have whenever I feel like I'm having a losing trade. Like if I have 2 days of losing, then I don't trade for the rest of the week. I say, oh yeah, that's over with. Till next week or something like that. So when I first started, I had a few months that was just I just wasn't consistent. I'd say maybe like 4 or 5 months, but for some reason, in the month between September to November, I always had good months. That was always like no matter when I first started, it was September through November. When the next year, it was September to November. Even when I took time off, it was still September to November. I had the best trade. Now this year, um, it came out, because of the pandemic, I'm more consistent. I'm more consistent than ever. It was just that, okay, well, March I did good. January I was out the gate. I was doing good. I was like, whoa. this came out pretty good. Usually January is a slow month because businesses are just getting started and stuff like that. But I was
Mm-hmm.
doing US 30 already, and so because the year before that, before this year, last year, I had end of the year with 14,000 off US 30. It was a trade I left off that was going for like maybe a month. I had a 4 week trade that was going, and I just let it sit for a while. It was like a .5 or
Okay.
something like that. And I was like, okay, we out the gate, we were doing pretty good, And then I was like, all right. But then February came, I was doing pretty good. Then March, we had, the pandemic happened. I was like, oh, okay, well, the pandemic's real. And I was like, okay, now it's affecting the markets. I was like, oh, this thing is really real. At first I just took the first week off and I didn't do much. And then I was like, all right, well, I might as well trade now. I can trade full time. I just got a house, all that. So um, I started trading, and this has been the best year so far for me.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So like you would like probably like tell people, hey, like don't let the losses get to you.
Right, right. I'm just saying, like, whatever you put in, that's what what you're willing to lose. Like, don't try to get rich quick. Like, I tell people, like, think about the little stuff. Like, you literally didn't clock in to get 10 cents or a dollar. I don't care what it is. You did not clock in for it.
That's true.
You did this off your own. You did it. This is what you made out of something. You made something out of nothing, pretty much, without clocking in. You're doing it. You're an anomaly. You're a unicorn.
No,
You're
it's
just
true.
learning. Yeah, I just say like because people look at the money, they try to compare themselves to other people. I don't compare myself to nobody. I just say like, I go at my own pace or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm the one who decides what's successful to me or whatnot. So, but I would tell people like, hey, it's not about the money. It's about how many times you're right, how many times you're wrong. Or how long you're right for, or how long you're wrong for. The market can go either way. That's where the predictions come in and your talent and skills comes in when you try to figure out how long you're going to be right or wrong for. You know, because some things the market will go down. It'll go the other way, and then it'll go right to where you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that, it's a fake out. It's called fake out.
Okay.
There's just certain things you do. You know.
No, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
definitely makes sense. So like you made a $14,000 off a 4 week trade.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, that's passive income though, because you place the trade and you're not like doing any work though. You're still working, doing your
Yeah.
9 to 5 at the time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's pretty good though, because you're making good money from your 9 to 5, and then you're still
Mm-hmm.
making like good money off of
Yeah.
your investing, trading.
Yeah.
Because like I know, because like what you buy, you have a few bitcoins.
Yes.
And now like not only do you have it, like you also trade it to
Yes,
trade
sir.
cryptocurrencies. Then you also
Mm-hmm.
trade currencies, and then you also
Mm-hmm.
trade indexes like equity
Yeah.
indexes, but
Right.
off a international broker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be the one that like is the most volatile, where you see a lot more movement? Would you say the forex, or would you say the equity index, or would you say like
Crypto.
cryptos?
So, ooh, that's tough. Indices, man, indices is the way right there. But don't get me wrong, the exotic pairs of forex, they still have a lot of volatility too. Like the oil and USD ZAR, silver, gold, gold as well. But crypto, it used to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin used to be the big dog, and crypto they have I think like a 20 pip spread when you try to get in Bitcoin trades and stuff like that. So
So
even when you
you
get in,
start
it's
off
like
down.
yeah, you start off down. It's
Okay.
crazy. I don't understand that either. But Bitcoins usually have those huge spikes where there's up or down every week. You just gotta find it. It's literally about like a 600 or 700 pip drop or up. It happens every week. I watched it faithfully. It happens at least 2 times a week. 2 times a week it happens. And so you just got to watch what happens. And that's on the 15-minute chart or the hour chart. It does it every week. And so you just got to figure out which way it's going to happen. you can watch it. But it, the indexes, yeah, I gotta say those US 30, US 30, NAS 100, SPX 500. Those the ones right there. Those the ones.
Okay, like so, like one thing I would say, like before we get off and everything, um, like you're like the one thing I like that you're saying, like it's like you're making passive income, but I think the most important thing is the time you invest to put in. Like, would you
Yeah.
say that you would put a lot of time to, and you're still putting in a lot of time, correct?
hmm
And learning the
Yeah.
market. You're always learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because
So.
I'm not perfect yet. I didn't hit my goal yet. So it's like it's still a confidence boost. Like like man, I still didn't hit 10, but I made three. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm like, how can I not? But I'm like, I just remember just a couple years ago that my goal was hit $100. And I'm like, well, 250 ain't nothing. I need this and that, and that's the growth right there. I'm like, I sat down one time, and I usually post a lot of my Instagram stories about what I made, simply because it's a confidence thing. Whenever I'm down, and I look back at my stories, like, you can do this.
Mhm.
You know how to do this. Don't second guess yourself. You know how to do this. You just had a bad day or a bad week, but you for sure know how to do this. You can leave your job and you'll be okay because you know how to do this. And so I was like, oh wow, like so this was like a sample. This pandemic was a sample because like I said, I didn't get paid to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We've been off for about 3 months already. So you got 3 months and you just bought a new house.
Yep.
You bought a new house out here in Oakland County, and so you're like, okay, well, the bills still got to get paid. The bills didn't get laid off. So what you gonna do? So it's like, well, I know how I already had savings already, but I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's make the four. I did that, and people was talking about their 401k. I lost money in my 401k. I said, doesn't matter to me. I've got forex. I'm gonna make it back. It don't matter. It does not matter to me. So everything just turned out right. That showed my hard work paid off. Even when pressure is applied, I was ready to roll. So it was a good study for me. A good that I can do this. Like, this is just a quarter of a year. I said I could do this full time, really. I
Okay.
was like, that's the confidence. He's like, you got 3 months off. What did you do with those 3 months? Well, I made this. I got this done in my house. I was able to get new furniture. Bills was paid. Everything was still good. Fixed the cars, all that. It was just crazy. Just everything still went well.
You have that freedom. I think a lot of people get confused with like financial freedom. Financial freedom doesn't necessarily mean that you're like, I guess, a millionaire. But financial
Right.
freedom is like even if you're working a 9 to 5, if you lose it, you can still be okay. Or like
Yeah.
anything that you can pay, that you need to get paid will get paid. And but you're
Yes.
not like us. You're not obligated to be at this
Yes.
vicinity or this entity or this organization or
Yes.
this employer.
Yes.
You just do it
Yes.
because you want to.
Yes. And that's what I think of it as too. Like, you know, few people they say, man, why haven't you quit yet? You make more money here, and I looked at it, I was like, man, but the thing is, I was ignorant of taxes. I really was. Because I nobody in my family knew about forex. I wasn't brought on to this, and the money I make in my regular job, nobody was making that type of money either.
So
So
you're like the first big investor like in your
yeah,
family.
yeah, and so I didn't know that. I had to literally learn what that was. And when the the IRS calls you and like, well, what'd you do with this? You be like, what do you mean? I just made money, lived my life. No, no, that ain't how it works. You got to pay more because you made more. And so I didn't understand all that stuff. And you got your wife that makes good money too. And so you're like, whoa, what is all this? I don't understand it, but I had to learn. I hired a financial advisor and all to teach me and all that. So I figured out what it was, and
Okay.
so I'm going to studies and everything. So when I do, if forest is my only, well, I don't want to say my only stream of income, but that's my primary.
Yeah,
But
because you
things
can
I
have
do,
you should have multiple
yeah,
streams. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So like that's what my whole thing is. Always build an economic hub around you. I love that. Just have your own economic hub where, where recession doesn't affect this recession proof. I'm like, man, you're a walking ATM, man. People come up to you. You're just that ship that everybody goes to spread knowledge to. They come up to you and bring it to you, and I see that. I see that all the time now. I know what I'm becoming, and so it's like, okay, yeah, I could quit this job and all that, but I don't know everything about healthcare and everything, how much this costs. What does this look like on record when you try to buy another car and all that? Do you have this streaming, this
Yeah.
cover you,
And it's
is your
no
life in?
pressure. There's no pressure
Yeah,
to leave. It just
definitely not. It's
when you're ready, if you feel ready to leave that 9 to 5, if you want to, you can leave it. But if you don't, that's fine.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel like you want more free time and everything, then go ahead and do that. I mean, I asked my wife, how much would it take for her to, quit her job, and she's a physician. I was like, what if I made, just in dividends or mutual funds, if I made $100,000 after taxes a month? She's like, I'll quit, whatever. I was like, oh, all right, cool. So I told my financial advisor, that's what I want. I want that. And so he's setting up all the plays for me to happen. I want to drain every bit of knowledge out of him. I want to push him to the limit, so what he can do for me. And
Okay.
so that's what I'm trying to do right now. Try to build a legacy,
That's right. Build a legacy, pass
one
it down to your
generation.
kids and everything, so they can also have that knowledge.
Absolutely, because this is what I'm saying. People think you gotta have this talent to know money. I'm like, knowing money should be like knowing your ABCs. I'm not telling you to write a book, but know how to read a sentence. I'm trying to tell you, like, if you can comprehend and read, then you know how to do money. You don't have to be like, okay, I want to be a billionaire, but you do understand how money works. You be like, well, I know what to invest in. I know how to trade here and there. I know what options and that stuff is. This stuff is not foreign to me. I know how taxes work, and you can know financial management. You're financially literate. So I figured that that should be easy. That should be the breathing part right there. It's like if you work out, you want to just be in shape, or you want to be a bodybuilder. To me, a bodybuilder is you want to be billions and all that. You want to be a guy who just want to be in shape all the time. You can do hundreds of thousands of dollars if that's your preference. If that's your preference, you want to make 40 or 50,000, then that's go ahead, do it. It doesn't matter because it's everybody's preference. So
That's right. I agree with that. And then it's just like work towards that and everything.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask you, um, like when you were talking about, because you keep talking about like you're gonna start this LLC. So you're gonna, I'm assuming, what is it gonna be like, Ray? Was it Fanning's Capital Investments or something? You know,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
yeah. But like you're gonna start like an LLC, you know, and that's gonna be like a tax shelter for you. And
Mm-hmm.
like for those who don't understand like tax shelter, what wealthy people do to avoid paying taxes from their incomes, use their high incomes. They use tax shelters so they can reduce tax liabilities. Yeah,
Talk to him. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but like, well, but you're gonna create this LLC, which is gonna be like a huge opportunity for you. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
what's your goal? Are you trying to start it this year, or are you gonna try to start it next year?
I'm starting it this year actually. I was starting this year, and I started up some trademarks that I'm trying to get to. Waiting
Okay.
for them to contact back on that as well.
So how much starting capital are you looking to put inside? If you don't mind sharing, you don't have to.
I probably looking to start off with. I'll start with 10,000.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's
Mm-hmm.
reasonable. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
can grow that. You know.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So, but then it's
yeah.
just like, and then are you gonna like try to like take out, or are you gonna just keep letting it try to grow in like every year, or what's your plan?
So this is my old plan of like how I'm trying to do things. So, like the forex money to me, that's me like cloning money to me. So it's like, all right, here go the clone machine. Okay, make this amount of money. Let's just, like I said, let's just do 3 grand, right? Let's see
Mm-hmm.
if you can make 3 grand a day. So we'll do 3 grand, whatever pay whatever bills you have, or let's just say you want to pay off the house, pay off whatever your spouse loans or whoever. You take care of that. Then you say, okay, well, let's put this money in some more crypto. Let's buy some more crypto. Let's buy some more stocks. Let's like I'm the type of guy who don't want no middleman in none of my stuff. I
Okay.
literally like I literally do not want that. Like I thought about buying an apartment complex. I'm still on the fence about
You're a control
it.
freak.
Yeah, yeah, man. I just can't. I can't have a middleman, dude. I'm like, I can't have it. I just need the money to come to me, and I send the money back out. So,
Okay, Thanos. I see you.
but but yeah, I was like, learn that mutual funds, some dividends. What else? Have let me think. Like people tell me like maybe you should open up a new bank and all that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I just said those are the little things I want: mutual funds, dividends, stocks, crypto, solid gold. I want like actual gold in my hands. I want that, and the place I want art. Invest in art. I want to invest in watches or timepieces,
Okay.
um, because that's a whole different market in itself. That I just found out. I
Okay.
couldn't believe it, but so that's a crazy. So and watches, and that's pretty much it's what I have right now. But those are all money and things that I don't need a middleman for. I just make my money,
Mm-hmm.
and then it is what it is right there. So like apartment complex, you need some people. Need some people there. You need somebody to do things. But I looked at apartment complex called $300,000. I thought it cost millions. I'm ignorant of it, and I was like, but you can make $1 million a month or so if you able to fix it up and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still thinking about it. I still give back to people. Like when people ask me about forex, I give them my knowledge on it. I'm like, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I feel like that's the information that people don't know about. And I feel like, as long as I gave you the opportunity, I told you about it, I've done my job, because I was always a person that didn't tell nobody what my next move was. I was just like, oh, well, where he get that from? I'll never tell you. I was like, yo, I don't know where I got it. I don't know. But, now that, my wife had told me, like, you always good, to spread information. So that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's personally what I want to do is just I don't want no middleman right as of now. But eventually I might put my hand out there to other people to, partner with me and stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Any last word that you want to share before we get off?
Um well, if anybody looking at forex, let's just say if you're a bad trader per se, let's just look at the technicals of it. You can do more than just trade. You can predict other things when it comes to money like stocks or investment. There's correlation between both of them that you will find the silver lining to, and you can do more than just trade with it. Like Mello said, there's options and all that good stuff as well. And stocks, and it's okay that you make 10 cents. It's okay. You did that. At least you gave it an effort. You tried something new. You stepped out of your comfort zone. But don't let that scare you. You stumbled on something that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people know now because of the internet and IML and whatnot. But
But they feel like a lot of people. It's still like they see these Instagram gurus and they think it's like get rich quick schemes, but they don't really understand
yeah, they don't understand it. Right.
like the
They
time
know
to
what
put
it is,
in.
but they don't.
Yeah,
yeah.
because like
Yeah.
if
So just
yeah,
go ahead.
no, because like IML like introduced some people to like I guess the forex, but the thing is like it's always been there way before IML.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's
Facts.
it's been there for a while. Like
Yes.
like and
Facts.
there's people like making money off this like way before that. Like this
Mm-hmm.
isn't just a new thing, but now it's
Yeah.
just like okay with the internet and everything. Now we have access to financial knowledge that we didn't necessarily have access to before. Not only financial knowledge, but like I mean, we don't necessarily, like you said, you don't necessarily need a middleman like it used to be before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just something that it has no age to. You don't need a degree to learn this.
No, you
It's
don't.
literally what you put in. Like you can be any age and learn this, and it's just something that it's a door. It's a door to financial freedom. It is.
An
It's just one
investor's
door.
mindset, I like to
Yeah,
say.
and
Yeah.
invest mindset. Yes. So it's like it's just one door.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other doors you can do. You can make an app. You can do whatever you want. I've seen people who know how to. They know how to put their mind into like trading robots where they can just trade automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever strategy they put in, and then it just does it for them. Maybe that's a new wave. I don't know, but I've seen people do that, and they charge from an app, and there you go. You got you got your own business right there. So there's plenty of ways to do things, but that's just one door to plenty of doors, man.
Oh,
But yeah,
absolutely. I like that.
yeah, so don't get down on yourself because you make 1 cent. If you take if you take 1 cent from a person who got $1 million, they're not a millionaire no more. So everything builds up to it. It don't matter.
It don't matter. I like that.
Every little thing counts. An atom counts for your body, for a whole picture. Just take the steps, the baby steps.
Okay, I like that. So like, do you have like any social media, like IG or anything you want to share?
Yes. Well, on Facebook, my name, Ronaldo Fanning.
Okay.
And on Instagram is the uttermost, the underscore uttermost. So you follow me on there.
So wait, is it the underscore uttermost?
Yep. Yep. The underscore uttermost.
And that's it.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right, thanks for having you. I look forward to like talking to you more on different topics, and
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk more, man.
Absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure.
All right, for sure.
Yes, sir.